Good morning. I told you yesterday that I would try and get some shots of the orange azalea in our morning coffee with Tina. I am in front of said orange azalea right now. There's also a purple one coming, so I'll just, my chair is not very stable. Oh, look, you can see the fuchsia one. There's the fuchsia one, and then we do have yet another red Japanese maple, and in the background you can see the church right there. Uh, yeah, I I did not get up very willingly today. I don't know. I think my allergies are getting so bad that it's moving on to pain now in the middle of the night. So I'm going to have to up my allergy meds game. So today was definitely a zombie walk to the coffee maker. And then the coffee maker turned on faster than usual. I usually have to hit the button twice. I hit it once and it started spurting, which didn't give me time to dig around for my mug. So there was some cleanup involved. I lost part of my coffee shot down the drain. But I'm here. I have coffee. I'm going to put my coffee down. Because today, oh, and also I'm going to tell you, well, so Kelly figured out how to how to find the 100 followers' names. So we have a full-on drawing. However, I'm not going to take away the goal of getting you to comment. So you still need to comment because I'm going to give away a second set of coasters. So for those that leave a comment on any of our posts this week, you will get a set of 5 coasters from our stock on hand. So the beige background with the rainbow, and then I've already drawn, but I don't remember who the winner is. So I will contact the winner, and I will also tell you who the winner is tomorrow. That winner gets, as I promised, sorry about that. That winner, as promised, gets the Indigo Sashiko kit and the 2 finished coasters that I made. Now, I am in the noisiest part of the house. That was the school bus that just went by. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about, had to move my basket over, because I am using my knitting basket, but I'm using it to carry my stuff around for morning coffee with Tina. Today, we're going to talk about purses and what I have learned about purses. Now, to the best of my ability, I'm going to intersperse photos of museum pieces that will sort of fill in to what I'm talking about, and you can see finished purses. I, by no means, have a collection of old purses. Although I almost started one when it got a little out of hand. I found some bargains here and there. So I do have a handful of purses, but it put me down a rabbit hole because I have a desire to make a few vintage style purses that I can wear with my Edwardian stuff and whatever other period costumes I decide to make. And so I started searching the history of handbags and purses. Now, there's another gal in Portland who's part of the Edwardian Society, and I will interview, or I'll try to interview her at one point. Very knowledgeable person. She's actually going to speak about purses and closures at Costume College, which is an event every year in California. It's online this year, yada yada, COVID. Usually happens in July. I was paid to go, very looking forward to it last summer. Didn't get to go. Don't get to go now at all for my payment because it's online and I gotta just suck it up and take the classes online. I have developed not a great like for online. It's better than nothing, but when you're away at a conference, the visiting with the other people, the socializing, the networking, the fact that you aren't available for people to call or to show up for or to walk in the room and say, hey, what you doing when you're busy? Doesn't happen when you're at a conference, and I cannot figure out how to lock my house up and make everybody go away in order to give myself a conference-like experience. So yeah, they're not my friend, and I'm somebody that doesn't have any kids at home now, and I still find it irritating. So goodness knows how those people with children are feeling, or with people that they take care of. So we're gonna have a little purse talk today. So in my research, the furthest back I could find is that basically bags were created to give gifts in. They were not women had pockets. We all had pockets. And purses didn't develop until fashion came along that required that we have a very slim waist, and pockets would add to our bulk and cause difficulty. So, as far as I could find, largely the bulk of that happened in the Victorian era. Up until then, there was a few reticule Regency era things, but until then, you could tie a pocket. You could open slits in the sides of your dresses, and you could either have a pocket installed in your outfits, or you could tie it around your waist, and you'd have a carry-along purse. So, like the first example of, oh my goodness, my battery's low. The first example of on-person purses would have been a tied-on pocket. And then we went to the reticule, which was a little handbag, a drawstring purse, and I can show you an example of that. It would be something like this, a little drawstring purse. And it could be beaded, it could just be out of matching fabric to your dress. And it would just, you drew the strings up. This is not Regency period, but this is a drawstring purse. And then you could open your drawstrings and get into your bag, and it would hold, if there was makeup, a little makeup, some smelling salts, a little tissue, maybe your fan, things like that. Well, then people got crafty, and they developed unusual purse styles. And I'm going to show you an example of one of my latest favorites. And I have, oh, sorry, we're gonna have a view of the azalea now. So this purse, I think, did exist in the Regency period, and I've showed you this one before. She's losing beads, so I'm a little worried about her. But this purse with a cap, and it kind of looks like a flask, really. To me, it looks like a flask. So with a flip top, a little chain with a ring on it, I got some hardware that we can buy. They make this hardware still. I was really surprised to find that they made this hardware still, but they do make it. So you can get it. It's not as exciting, and nor is it monogrammed like the old, but we can buy this hardware right here, and it's not very expensive, and works. So there you go. I have a gold one that isn't quite working as well. I'm trying to figure out what I can do to make adjustments to make it work better. But the top opens, you make your bag down underneath here. It's got a wide top. You gather it around in these sewn areas, and then, or you put it on when it's fully expanded. And then when you close it up, those gathers form. You close your lid. You have a chain and a ring to hold it around your finger, or to hook it to your belt on your chatelaine. Chatelaine. Yeah, it's a chatelaine. Additionally, and I've showed you this one before, you had clasp closures. And I have some of those. Here's an example of a gold one. And again, you make your bag, you sew the fabric bag, the knitted bag, the crocheted bag onto your closure, and then this one does have a place for handles that you can do with a chain, or you can do with a rope, string, cording, etc. There were also hard-sided ones. Here's a chainmail bag. This one's probably a bit later. 1920s probably. Could be earlier though. Again, they're inside here are little holes on an edge, just like I showed you on the piece of hardware I have. And you stitched or wired. In this case, they wired it on. And then there is the miser's purse. And the miser, I do not have an example of the miser's purse. I've been wanting to make a miser's purse forever. So noisy. The road is right here, but I have not yet done that. A miser's purse just takes 2 rings. Now, I can use these rings to hold onto my chatelaine, but I can also use these rings to make a miser's purse. And I'm going to show you an example. It will be cut in here. and you get to look at it for a while. But the way a miser's purse is that you build a tube, and then there's a opening or a slot in the middle of that tube, right at the top along the tube. And what you do then is you install these rings onto the purse, and then the rings slide to give you access to either end of the purse. So the rings sit in the middle, they cover up the opening. You slide one ring to the left but leave the one to the right, and it allows you to get into the purse. Or you slide both rings to one end and you can get into where your change is. It's called a miser's purse because it would be, so for example, I have all my shillings to take to market, and I have 20 shillings. I'm making way too high a numbers for how much food costs. I have 20 shillings to pay my landlord, but I have 3 shillings I've set aside to get food to take home for groceries. And so I would put the 20 shillings at one end and the 3 shillings at the other end so that nobody saw me digging in my purse and getting in to figure out how much money I had, or I didn't accidentally spend too much of my money in one place or the wrong place. So that's what the miser's purse history is. Back to the historical. Now, most of this, miser's purse existed for a long time. It was mostly for men, and then women gradually, as they managed the house and lost pockets, needed one as well, and they would secure it inside the waistband of their dress or at their waist somehow. There are examples of gaming bags, so which is kind of cool because I have a child that plays Dungeons and Dragons. Interestingly enough, these dice bags she's making all the time are as old as time. Like, there are samples of dice bags or gaming bags to put your cards in and carry to parties to play games forever. There are examples of knitting bags, and those would be the bigger purses. It seems from all my research that I could find that a woman, after they lost their pockets, would carry around a relatively small purse for personal items, to go to balls, to go to dinners, to go visiting. They'd carry relatively small bags, except if they were taking crafts there. So you had your needlework bags, you had your knitting bags, and you would carry those larger bags with your projects in them, just like we do today. So yeah, it's kind of cool, right? Now, I don't know, I by no means know everything, and the gal that is going to do the presentation at Costume College, I'm definitely going to attend, knows a heck of a lot, and she lives here in Portland, so she's in the Edwardian Society with me. I have yet to have a chat with her, but I need to, because she needs to start recording, and I told her I'd help, and I'd love to interview her. Would you like to hear from her? Definitely leave a comment below if you would like to hear from her. And you know, every time you leave a comment, you also go in for the drawing for the second Sashiko kit. So you might like that. Yeah, so that is what I've learned about bags since I started acquiring these little darlings. Coin purses, obviously, with the little clip top, super common after we lost pockets. But the thing that I find the most amusing is we lost pockets for fashion. We didn't lose pockets because, you know, the fashion industry wanted us to not use so much fabric. We didn't lose pockets for any number of reasons. It was purely fashion and getting the smallest waist possible and removing bulk. So, or slim hips, I would assume. I would have bet in the 20s we really lost pockets because we wanted a silhouette that was straight up and down and rectangular. And if you're a girl with hips, not so much. Now, I happen to be a girl with no hips, so, or very small hips. Like, my inches are 1 inch apart. I think I'm 2 inches between my bust and my waist, and then 1 inch from my hips to my waist, something like that. So I'm not a womanly figure at all. But I fit the 20s body shape, well, except I'm not slim enough. But I definitely do not fit the Edwardian. Additions need to be made. So, yeah, that's my little chat about purses today. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely, if you like this and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe and ring the bell so that you know every day when I put a new one out, and Kelly 2 days a week, and then I do an additional one on Fridays, although I haven't uploaded last week's yet. Yeah, and leave a comment, man, leave a comment so I can give you a prize. Tomorrow I will be announcing the 100 member winner, and then on Friday, on the following Monday, I will announce the weekly commenter winner. So comment. I don't know that I've gotten it yet. And that includes Kelly's videos too. So any comments that get made this week, they're in for the drawing. All right. Have a good Tuesday for me. It's Tuesday today. It'll be Wednesday for you. Bye. See you tomorrow.